Welcome back to the continuing series on the revision classes. In the previous class, we looked at a video and we went on to carry out a task on genetic crossing. So in that crossing, I was able to demonstrate to you using crosses of how a homozygous dominant gene BB, that's capital letter B, set of chromosomes, pairing with a homozygous recessive gene for black eye color. And we're able to see the outputs given the first filial generation. Now, in that exercise, the first filial generation all turned out to be heterozygous blue eyes because they turn out to be capital letter B and small letter b, which is a combination of characters or trait from parent 1 and parent 2 that was transmitted to that first filial generation. So like I said in the previous video, when you do this genetic crossing, it's just like trying to trace the genetic processes of transmission of traits from maybe say grandparents to parents, parents to children, children to great-grandchildren, and you keep going on in that manner. So I'll quickly put down the output we had from the last crossing in video 2. So this is what we had for the 4 offspring or children that were given birth to in that generation. So it turned out this way, and this is what we call the heterozygous blue eye children in this case, because the capital letter B is a dominant gene, the small letter b is a recessive gene, meaning the black eyes was hidden in this generation. This was the first filial generation. You remember we used the symbol F1 to represent that. First filial generation simply means the first generation that was produced during the reproductive process. And I told you that we're going to pick one of these from parent 1 and one of these from parent 2. This came from parent 1 and parent 2 in their combination when they had a mating process that led to the production of these offspring. I'll take one of these and cross with one of these. Let's see the product that will give us the second filial generation or F2 generation. So bring this down, B, small letter b, crossing or times B and B again. Remember what I told you, you must do what we call gene segregation. So this will be broken down into individual alleles. We call them alleles, A-L-L-E-S, alleles. And they are simply traits, specific traits for a particular character. Okay, so you do the same with this. I told you I will not be fast with this because you've seen the first one. At any point you get lost in this crossing, please feel free to go back to previous videos, pause it and follow it step by step. You'll definitely get it. It's not a difficult task. All right, so having done this, I will start pairing. Remember, this allele will pair with the 2 alleles here. This one will pair with the 2 alleles. That's the order. So I'll take it from the very top again. B is crossing B. That's the heterozygous first filial generation, F1. Remember from the previous video. You can always go back to it. Okay, so having done this, I'm going to do the segregation quickly, or the gene separation. So this goes to this, then this is segregated. You know when this happens in reproduction? That's when mitosis and meiosis is taking place. All the cell divisions, all the cell making and processes happens this way, right? In the body of the expectant mother. Okay, so having done this, this goes to this. We have a homozygous blue eye child or offspring here because it's capital letter B means homo, they are the same. Then this will also go back to the pair with this allele here to give us capital letter B and small letter b. This is a heterozygous blue eye because the dominant gene is still the blue eyes. Then we are done with that. The second allele will go pair with this to give us the big B comes first and the small b. Remember, the big B is for the blue eyes, the small b is for the black eyes, and it's recessive here. So this will still give us another heterozygous blue eye child. But these 2 children here have the possibility of transferring a blue eyes in the next generation, and also one of them might turn out to have a black eye if we continue the crossing. Then let's go further. This will finally cross with this to give us small b and small b. If you notice, there's a difference between the first result we got in the first filial generation, where you had all of them turning out to be heterozygous blue eyes with capital letter B and small letter b for the 4 offspring. But here we have a capital letter B here for blue eyes. This also blue eyes, but heterozygous blue eyes. Another blue eyes, but heterozygous blue eye. This is a homozygous black eye. So one of the offspring in this generation came out with a black eye or pupil, which differentiates the children from the first filial generation. So if you continue these crossings, it will keep going on, and you'll be seeing different resemblances, different pair of siblings that will emerge from it. All right. You can also practice this once again by going back to the crossing we did earlier. Then note it in your biology notes and continue to do more genetic crossing using any trait of your choice. You could use eye color, you could use skin color, you might want to use height, you might want to use length of hair. So for instance, I can say, let A, capital letter A, 2 of them, the pair, should stand for long hair. I can say, let small letter A, 2 pairs, that's AA, be for short hair. Then you can start your crossing by following these steps.